departments to see exactly how they're able to get to all of these fires at this point. If they have the resources available. I know that the National Guard was brought in earlier to try to add manpower to police departments, fire departments, so that it would free up our fire and our police and our emergency responders. You look at the Walgreens. Again, this Walgreens is at North Florissant.
You tell me a recording device or just... Okay, it looks like a spotlight.
And then showed you fully engulfed in flames with the Little Caesars Pizza at Royal and North Florissant, and that area is being evacuated by the residents.
And it looks like firefighters are on the scene trying to put the flames out. The protesters have clearly been moving. Before we move on, I'm sorry, Amanda, did you state that there's some information that we needed to get as far as there's more fires than we can handle? Okay, yeah. There's more fires than firefighters can handle right now, so they're doing the best that they can, and right now they are getting to that Little Caesars fire, but there again, you can see the protesters shutting down 44 Grand. So it appears that the protesters have a plan. They started with Ferguson, and this is not, they appear by accident to arrive at this spot to just shut down the traffic. The question is, how long will they stay here? Will they stay here for much of the evening? Will they move on to another location? Their nation said that they will allow protesters to stop traffic as long as they stay peaceful. But a lot of the protests, Mrs. Elliott Davis and George Sells told us earlier, have not been peaceful because, well, there's been fires, as you can see, and there's been shots fired, and bricks being thrown. But right now, the rioters are, the protesters, I should say, right now are just getting their ground, as are police. And firefighters are trying to put out this fire here at the Little Caesars. Here's making some headway with that fire.
Yeah, and we had reported that was on North Florissant. It's actually at Royal and West Florissant where that Little Caesars. And you mentioned, Rafer, earlier that they had talked about during the press conference earlier today that they were going to allow people to exercise their freedom of speech. However, they said they're drawing the line at anything like we're seeing tonight, and that they did have all of the pieces in place to make sure that people and property were protected, as well as reasons that they were not going to allow this to happen. We've seen a large police presence. Earlier this week, Jay Nixon and the Assistant Emergency and the National Guard were brought in for tonight. They're acting in a backup capacity. They're reporting to the police departments and fire departments and to utility substations so that those places can be secure while the police and firefighters deal with this type of thing right now.
During the president's speech, as he was making a plea for protesters not to damage property, you saw protesters trying to overturn a police car. That police car was later set on fire, and then the protesters, they moved from there. So, but the police then used what appeared to be tear gas, but they tell us it was not tear gas. They are telling us that it was flashbangs and smoke.
You're dressed for a riot, but I don't see a riot.
So, in terms of, you were here when protesters and police first clashed back in August. It appears the police are standing back a little bit with protesters this time compared to
it's early.
Last time.
Well, I think they definitely this time. I think that they have all of the resources in place, and they brought in additional resources. Police officers have been trained for any kind of situation that might occur like this. So I think that what you're seeing tonight is just more of an organized reaction to what we're seeing from protesters this evening.
And we're seeing organized protest right now. In this particular juncture, there appears to be nonviolent as they're blocking the freeway down right there. Mandy Murphy has been also following the story, and that's how we all
Well, we've all been working our sources and talking to a lot of different people. And a source tells me, where is the National Guard in this situation? That there are no National Guard in Ferguson. There's National Guard in Clayton, but that there are no National Guard in Ferguson protecting any of their businesses, their police departments, their fire departments, and that the city was promised National Guard support early on, and tonight they don't have any. And there are a lot of people who are upset about this and wondering if that could have made a big difference, because you're seeing all this widespread looting, fires being set, and the governor came in and said, we're going to provide National Guard troops. We're under a state of emergency. We can bring in more if we need them. But where are they in Ferguson?
Well, do you think that there was a miscommunication, Mandy? Because I think that they had said that the National Guard was going to be in a support role, that they weren't going to be front line, that they were going to be back at the police departments, at the fire stations, kind of filling in those gaps as our first responders, our police, our firefighters went out to handle this. So do you think that maybe there was just a miscommunication, that the people, the residents, thought that the National Guard was going to be out there on the streets with them?
I don't think it was a miscommunication. I think that my sources tell me that the city was promised National Guard support early on from the governor, and they're not getting it. And they could really use it right now.
Perhaps, excuse me, miscalculation over what they expected.
Well, the city has 400, and they're protecting firehouses. They're protecting these key areas. There's a lot of National Guard in Clayton right now at the Justice Center, and there's nothing going on. And this is what's happening in Ferguson right now. But what I can tell you is that my sources say there aren't any National Guard right now in Ferguson, and there simply aren't enough fire crews to handle these fires that are breaking out. Either they can't get there, or they don't have enough crews to follow all these. We're getting numerous reports of fires coming in to our assignment desk. You're seeing some of these, and they're getting out of control quickly. You saw one fire truck at the scene here. So it's a very difficult to be in, but that's one issue that is being brought up. We are under a state of emergency, and is there any National Guard in Ferguson? I'm told there's not.
All right, maybe that'll change after your report, Mandy. Let's hope so. Let's right now go out the left side of your screen. What you're looking at is a shutdown by protesters at 44 and Grand. Betsy Bruce is there live. Betsy, what can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that there's still a fairly large crowd, probably about 200 people, that are blocking down lanes of the interstate, just on the east side of the Grand overpass. Another large crowd, more like 400 people along the side of the road, and people are yelling obscenities at police officers. We have officers, some in riot gear, some not, who are trying to control the crowd. They diverted traffic off the highway westbound I-44. Traffic is retarded, and I think eastbound they're trying to stop a bit further to the west.
Betsy, are you fearing for your safety at all in any way?
Well, at this point, it's a large crowd. We are standing right near Grand by the sidewalk up on the edge to the overpass, and we may be needing to move here shortly. Our conduct for Dave is a little bit closer to things, and like him to get back up here, but we've sort of been disconnected here because the officers told us to move, and we did move. Let me take a look here. There are a lot of people taking video of this. Police are walking away, crossing Grand, and another group that appears to have more riot gear is moving down on the highway. So basically a changing of the guard here going on, and we're walking away from this edge of the interstate. They would like to have people move off the interstate, but there's a large crowd there, and not quite sure how they're going to convince them to do that at this point.
All right, now let's go live up to Steve Myers at Bomarito Auto Sky Fox. Got a broader view of things. Steve, it looks like they're clearing off the roadway.
Well, it kind of looks to me, Rafer, like they're clearing themselves off the roadway. I should tell you, as we come back here, you know, for the longest time there was only a line of police across both sides of the road. There's now a line of police at the top of that ramp, and when that group of patrol officers showed up, or you know, I'm not sure what they're wearing, but anyhow, most of this crowd started to go back up the hill at that particular juncture. And so, you know, perhaps they've decided this is over at this point, and they really don't want to get any worse or more involved with the police department, which has obviously come here with a show of force, and you know, let folks know that at some point they were going to take some sort of action. There's still a little group here in the highway, but they do appear, for the most part, to be sort of moving themselves out slowly, and a lot of these cars that are sitting there, I'm sure, cannot wait for some of these people to move so they can get out of there.